All right. Good morning, Patriots, Americans. I appreciate you spending time. Thank you. Thank you very much. Time is so very valuable to all of us. It is one of the things they cannot print over at the Fed and the Treasury. They cannot print up any more time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Sometimes I feel like I need 48 in my day in order to accomplish things. I think that is in some ways a positive. As always, I just get, angry in some point, and I just hit the record button and post a video. That's kind of what I've done today. So I'm missing some information, but I think you'll get the gist of it. A quick update, the James Detroit site is very, very close. I do owe to the IT company that's handling this, Hierographics. I really appreciate everything that they are doing. I'll tell you this, working with an American-based company with top level, absolute top level competence in IT. I appreciate these guys so much. Andrew and Josh are doing a fantastic job putting this site together. Basically, it's my inability to get this stuff to them in a timely manner that's actually holding this up. So it's on me. But the James Detroit site is going to be up and live very soon. So I look forward to directing everybody over to that. Okay. Politics. I'm asked, why you always got to be so political, James? Well, there's an old saying, and that is, and this is in regards to race, and that is, if everything is racist, then nothing is racist. But in politics, it's different because as Dr. Bruce Rubenstein, University of Michigan, Flint and Ann Arbor, explained years ago in a class that I attended, politics are everywhere. And so you need to learn that. You need to learn how to play that political game. Think about it. There's a political aspect to the family. There's a political aspect to the church. There's a political aspect to the school. As a matter of fact, I've said this for years. Oh yeah, there's a superintendent at the local school district. There's a superintendent for the intermediate school district that's overseeing them. There's a superintendent of education at the state level and at the federal level. But you want to get something done in the schools? You better make the janitors and the secretaries your best friends. Because that's the first, they know everything that's going on. All right, enough about that. Politics are everywhere, though. So we shouldn't be afraid of politics. We should be embracing and seeking the truth in all things. What are a couple of things that blow my mind? Like, how did we come to that conclusion? Well, the scientific method. We have completely discarded that in so many areas of our life. And we let the news tell us. My buddy Dan said it a long time ago. Why would I go to a bank and ask them how much I can afford for a mortgage? Why would I ever go anywhere and ask them, hey, how much can I afford for a car? How much can I afford for a house? I should know how much I can afford. I'm not going to let some other human being tell me what I can afford or can't afford. We've fallen into this debt reliance trap. And so one of those things, I'm just going to give you an example on basically a societal aspect and then this health aspect. So President Trump, our 45th president, stated America first. Make America great again by concentrating on what's best for America before we do anything else. And he was labeled by mainstream media and many in academia as being a white nationalist. And yet I look at this and I think to myself, and this is part of the reason why, in my opinion, they want to eliminate the national anthem. They give you other reasons, but they want to eliminate this patriotic, this having pride in our country and what we stand for. But think about this. In Michigan, we've had pure Michigan. We've talked about patronizing Michigan-based businesses and spending your holiday, your vacation, pure Michigan, bringing people to Michigan. Go up to the UP, go up to Marquette, go up to Mackinac, go up to the Sioux, go up to Traverse City. This is where you should be spending your money. It's pure Michigan. They've got an entire campaign on it. No one ever accused them of being, instead of white nationalists, prejudicial in some aspect. We've also for years talked about, shop local, support the small business. No one's ever accused anybody of being prejudicial from that standpoint. Why have we allowed ourselves to even let this rhetoric pollute our airways? Another example of being misled, the COVID response. I've spent a lot of time, go back to the library, the ones that are still there, and I'll get to that in a second. But hydroxychloroquine was eliminated from the discussion, even though the world's preeminent epidemiologist, Dr. Raoul, had a near 100% success rate. And yet you have people lying day in and day out back in May and June and July. Even today, people in academia and in the Western medical trained, hydroxychloroquine is, it's dangerous if you've got a cardiac condition and it needs to be administered under close scrutiny by a medical professional. Yeah, no kidding. We were never talking about distributing this without a prescription. However, the billions of doses, maybe even trillions of doses, the billions of scripts that have been written for hydroxychloroquine over the last 60 plus years, and the less than 0.00000000001% of the side effects, minimal, even for those with cardiac issues, and I'm not a doctor, but I can read. And that has led people, because we need to go and spend billions, if not trillions, on a new pharmaceutical vaccination. We've fallen for such a lie. And yet, so almost nobody gets hurt by hydroxychloroquine. And then there's another drug that has been around since 2015 that the Senate, United States Senate, has actually heard testimony on why nobody actually needs to die from this. And it's a safe drug too. But people are being vaccinated for the first time ever with an mRNA vaccination, both from Pfizer and Moderna. And there's others coming for a pathogen that is 99.99% non-deadly. And we have people dying, actually dying, not having cardiac arrest, not having issues, as you would suggest with hydroxychloroquine. We have people dying after taking the vaccine. And no one is talking about this. Again, I'm not trying to be political. I'm trying to be scientific. Follow the scientific method. You create a hypothesis. You then send out to your peers and the rest of the world to be able to say, hey, there are so many things that the FDA, the Federal Death Administration, that some call it, or the Food and Drug Administration, has signed off on that later, in clinical studies it shows, but then in the law of large numbers, when mass amounts of people start using it, you're like, oh yeah, we didn't realize that was going to happen. So they pull it. And yet we are so readily willing to give up our liberties and to run out there and have mass amounts of people vaccinated for something that is 99.99% non-deadly. You might become annoyed by me continuing to say that, and I hope that's true, because one day the light bulb's going to go off and you're going to say, wow, James Detroit was right. We didn't need to do any of this stuff. This has all been a distraction to help promote the Great Reset. We'll talk about that more. I've been trying to keep it at 10 minutes, but you know what? Sometimes some things need longer than 10 minutes. And I'm going to be just over 10 minutes. I'm going to stay under the 11-minute mark. And I want to end with this. If you look back in the library of James Detroit, there are a number of videos that have already been removed. They're gone. They're gone. I wish I had recorded them someplace else and saved them. Didn't get a chance to. So once, and I've got a couple of videos that have more than 100 hits, but the ones that had 400 and 500 hits, they're gone. Once you hit a certain message and the views at a certain point and the message isn't what the narrative is, you're eliminated. It's our First Amendment. Folks, be part of the fight. Be part of seeking the truth. I am James Detroit. And for now, I'm out.